Hello and welcome to the Pugsley Crew Reviews podcast, where we talk about all manner of films, whether they're good, bad, or anything in between, really. We'll watch them and give you our honest opinions. Today we are joined by Kerr9000. How you doing, dude?
I'm all right, chap. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not bad, I watched the film this morning, I did. Yeah. How have you been?
Oh, I've been all right. I watched it yesterday in about 6 parts. There's too much to take in on one go.
I watched all in one go, and constantly my missus was bitching at me for making her watch another crap film.
Oh wow. Oh, you're a trooper for stomaching this in one go.
Well,
Wow.
I put her on, and literally within the first 30 seconds, my missus turned around and said, "Are you fucking joking?"
Oh,
uh, she was not impressed, which
no.
can't blame her really. So anyway, for those who are listening, the film we watched was a film called Fatal Deviation. It is an Irish kung fu movie or action film, and it's not particularly good. I do think it's in the so bad it's good camp, though. In a sense, it's like it is really bad, but at the same time, I did get a couple of chuckles out of it.
It's it's an interesting film because it was made for a very specific purpose. And that's apparently that some Chinese company was thinking about giving this guy a shot in one of their action films, but they wanted something from him to demonstrate his skill.
Hmm.
So he made this film as like a advertisement reel for himself to try and sell him to them.
Yeah. Wonder if it worked.
Apparently, he still does get jobs in kung fu stuff now and again, but apparently, he said at one stage that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone were like over the hill and hold, and that Jean Claude Van Damme and him, James P. Bennett, were going to be the future of kung fu movies.
Right.
Yeah, not so much him.
No. Not at all.
Did you see Jean Claude Van Damme in this?
No.
There's about 8 pictures of him on the guy's wall.
I didn't even
Dead,
notice. I
yeah,
honestly
dead
didn't even
early on in the
notice.
film. Yeah.
No, I didn't notice. But I was watching. I was thinking, oh, this reminds me of like Kickboxer. This reminds me of mainly Kickboxer. I was thinking, or Jean Claude Van Damme films, but
Blood sport as well. Yeah.
Bloodsport. Yeah,
Kickboxer, blood sport. And you
like
can tell he does the Van Damme special splits between two things
yeah,
and the Van Damme arm pump. And he like tries to push in as many Jean Claude Van Damme mannerisms as he can, really.
yeah. Must have been a big fan. But like while I was looking, I was looking, and I was like, oh, there's supposed to be a sequel coming to this, but
Oh,
nothing have
wow.
happened. Nothing have happened. It's supposed to be in 2020 and then 2023, but they have passed. So you know, there you go. Basically, this is a film where it starts off with a guy, and I can't even remember. I watched this morning. It's about a guy who is kind of like going to his old house where he grew up with his father. You find out his father was later killed. It's just
He's leaving some form of like children's home type situation, but it's clearly a church with a little sign blue tack to the wall.
yeah,
And you think, this dude looks 35. Why is he only just leaving like a children's home?
exactly. But he ends up going back to his father's old house. And it turns out his father was killed by another guy, who turns out to be the big bad boss guy of the Irish mafia, I guess. I don't know. And it's a weird one because he keeps having flashbacks, and like when he's speaking to the monk, there's a monk in there who teaches him kung fu more, better kung fu. He's like, "How do you know my father?" And he's like, "Oh, I just did. I'll tell you later." And he's like, "Okay, you need to tell me about my father." It's like, "Well, you did grow up with your father. Like, it wasn't like he was absent." So, and then he's like, "My father was a monk." For a short time, yes. He's like, what the fuck?
They could not have picked anyone creepier looking for that monk. That monk has got raper face. I'm sorry, it's just I wouldn't trust my goldfish with him, let alone my children. You know what I mean? And where did we get the idea? I mean, yeah, in the old like Chinese films, the Shaolin monks teach people martial arts, but since when was that Catholic thing as well?
Since 1998. Yeah, like the thing is with this film, it's obviously meant. I think it's played seriously. I genuinely do, and it is just the acting's crap. There's not much good about this film. The car crash was quite good, but it turns out that was because they accidentally crashed the car. And they kept it
The
in.
right choice to keep it in, yeah.
Yeah, they kept it in because, like, oops.
Did you click who the boss's son is?
Oh, the guy from Westlife.
I was thinking it was Boyzone, but I know it's a boy
Boyzone,
band
is it?
guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
Boyzone
think
there.
so. Mikey, like the least famous member of the band, probably. I'm going to
Yeah.
go out on a limb here and say that he was probably the best actor in this film, which
Yeah.
probably isn't the highest praise in the world, but the
It's,
worst actor's the old man.
yes, Mikey's father.
Yeah.
Yeah. Terrible. I think
Even when he's
Hmm?
sorry, even when he's got one line, there's like a 30-second pause as he like looks at the ceiling and then goes like, "Oh, maybe we should hire the fella."
It is not very well done. Well, you could see when they were doing outtakes, which in my opinion is the best part of the film, the outtakes. That they would have to constantly remind him of his lines because he just never remembered them. But I don't think any of them are actually actors, are they? I think they're all just helping him out, like.
Yeah.
But it's still bad.
I'll normally mention this later, but do you know what the budget for this film is?
20 quid?
It's a lot more than that, actually. It was
25.
no, a lot more. It was Irish dollars, but I did some conversion, and it was about £9,000, which by nowadays standards would make this film about a £22,000 film.
That's surprising. I thought it was like no budget. I thought there was no budget at all. I just assumed it was like they grabbed a home camera and filmed something.
Well,
And that was
apparently
it.
they had two cameras. One was a decent camera, and one was a home VHS cheapo camera.
Right.
And apparently they somehow broke the better camera and had to film most of it on the pants camera.
Yeah.
Which probably why there's some like changing in quality through the film.
Yeah. I
Because the
didn't know
fighting
that.
in that barn is awful.
Yeah. The quality's shite. I wonder if that was the better camera though. It just didn't have to work properly. No, it's a film that I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. It's just lame. And then at the end, I thought was funny where he was fighting some of the goons, and he starts throwing up quippy one-liners, and I'm like, they're crap. It is say the action is okay considering, but then he's supposed to be a martial artist, so
What got me is all the cuts. It's like someone's about to get punched and it cuts away, and it's like,
yeah, especially during the fight in the church.
yeah. I mean, my brother was a black belt in Taekwondo,
Yeah,
um, and he could do a lot of the same sort of stuff, the splits between stuff, the kicks and that. And if he'd wanted to make a film, I'd have genuinely gone to him. As long as you don't kick me in the face, you can full on kick me a couple of times, and I'll do my best to not get completely battered. If you think you're going to make a film of it, and it all, if you get rich, give me some kickbacks. So I can't believe he didn't have any mates that were willing to get beat a little more, shall we say? Do a little bit more? Because surely you could have choreographed some, because it's like there's 3 movements, the camera cuts to the wall or somebody looking, and then there'll be like another 2. But I mean, if you do things like taekwondos and stuff, there's stuff in it called katas, which they're sort of like little dancers where you punch to the left, step, kick to the right. And I'm like, surely with that sort of knowledge, you could have built some form of choreography to make fights that were more than this.
I get you. Like
I mean, this makes it look like he's got anger problems. Like when he attacks the 2 bouncers that are on the little village pub in the broad daylight. I mean, I've never seen a village pub with bouncers in the middle of the daylight.
Yeah, I didn't get
Basically,
that. I was like, why did he just suddenly randomly have a weird flashback and then all of a sudden hit those 2 guys for bouncers outside the pub? I don't know why that was.
it's like when the people on the moped things are coming to kill him. He doesn't know they're coming to kill him. He just sees somebody randomly driving a bike and decides, you know what, I'm going to spin kick him in the head off the bike.
Yeah, that's a good point actually, because he's like on the picnic blanket with the woman who seems to get in trouble every 5 minutes, and he like just runs off because he uses bikes, and then he just like does a flying kick into one of their faces, as you just said, and it's like, why would he do that? They could have just been random people out on their bikes. It's like, fair enough, they were actually dodgy, but they might not have been.
No, there was nothing to say he knew that. We knew that because we'd seen him get sent, but he didn't.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. Why did he do it? How did he know? Must be a clairvoyant or something.
A secret ninja skill.
Yeah. It's funny though at the end, with they're back on the picnic thing, and he's like, close your eyes, hopefully we won't get interrupted this time. And then the father of Mikey is like, I'm gonna kill you like you killed my son. And then he like I killed you because you killed my son, and like I killed your father. And then somehow he reverses the gun, hits him on the foot. He's like, I'm gonna kill you because you killed my father, and like I killed your son, and then shoots him. And there's no comeuppance to any of this stuff. That's what I find funny about a lot of action films, is like there's never any like comeuppance to anything. Like,
I mean, they have a secret blood tournament fighting thing once a year in this world, and there's no police anywhere, or and they're killing each other in the tournament. So
yeah,
just like the murder capital of Ireland or something.
must be. And all the stuff that goes on, like the car chases, the explosions, the gunfights, and all that sort of stuff. And there's like not a single police officer does anything.
I've got a question for you here, film
Yeah,
logic wise. The big bad boss, Lachlan,
yeah.
he lives in a house which you don't see, it looks dead plain, and yet it's supposed to be big crime boss rich. His son, who's supposed to be rich, why does his son live in a camper van that is incredibly dirty and wear a string vest like Rabsy Nesbitt if they're supposed to be loaded?
Um, I don't know. I don't know why.
I think writing that they're loaded was a bad mistake if you can't show it.
Yeah, I don't know why he's in a little camper van kind of thing at all. Actually, maybe that
There's
was
a
like his
bit
little secret place where he keeps his prisoners or hostages, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know.
there's the bit where he invites the guy to his house to ask him to work for him, and he's like, "Do you want to work for me?" And you watch Bennett, the main character, he like looks around and he says something about, "We've got lots of money. I'm sure you could tell on the way in." And he just looks around at like plain walls and then like, uh, "I'll think about it." And you're like thinking, "Wow, clearly you can see the lack of riches here, can't he?" He's like, "It's well paid, is it?" Uh,
I says about the cars outside, so you don't see them, so they can get away with her. Saw those fancy cars outside? Pays well. But
the lads in the Londis supermarket.
yeah,
They're, like, acting like they're 12-year-olds and they're both 40.
yeah. It's funny though because like instant like the ow, I banged my elbow there. uh, when I can't remember the main character's name now, Fred. When he sees them harassing the girl, instead of like being like, "Yo, stop," he just walks over and like starts kicking their asses. The second
Yeah.
time that happens, he doesn't say to them like, leave her alone. He just starts kicking the other guy's asses.
The best thing is they're threatening to knock over the massive pile of, kitchen roll,
Yeah.
and then he kicks one of them through it, thereby knocking over the roll that, making the poor woman more work.
I'm sure she says something along the lines of, "You'll have to pay for it." And I'm thinking, why would they have to pay for the kitchen roll if it was just knocked on the floor?
Uh-huh. But again, I mean, the bump through the kitchen roll, I'm just like, everything in this is safe but incredibly dangerous looking. It should be safe.
Yeah.
Um, we used to do a thing when I was younger where we'd do stunt bumps. And what
Yeah.
you'd do is you'd buy cabinets or chairs from a charity shop and you'd take all the screws out of them and then you'd let somebody kick you through it.
All right.
And I'm like, clearly I could have been in this film and done a better bump than half of these. I'm 45 now and I'd still bump through a cabinet if I removed the screws. It's. But yet you see the time he knocked somebody over a wall, when you see in the like outtakes, it looked like he nearly broke the guy's neck.
Yeah.
And yet they'd got a mattress and it's just like, how can you do such tame stunts and nearly kill people? It's an art form.
I don't know. I'm thinking he must have missed the mattress, maybe, or something.
Probably.
The thing I could think of, because
But
that did confuse me.
I find it funny because he's stopping them knocking over the tissue by beating them up and knocking over the tissue. And then later, the two guys are pestering the woman, and he's like, "Come on, lads, I think she's old enough to cross the road on her own." And then after he's like knocked them out, he goes to her, "I'll help you cross the road then."
Yeah, he does. He grabs her hand and says, "Come with me," and then they walk literally across the road. And he's like, "Okay, bye." And she's like, "Thanks." And he's like, "Don't worry, I know what it's like to be bullied." And then walks off. It's like, what the fuck? I know what it's like to be bullied. What? But at one point there's a part where she's kidnapped again. Well, not again. She hadn't been kidnapped before, but she's always in trouble. But she gets kidnapped, and he has a flashback about her, and the flashbacks for the most part are just like the bit where they're like on a gun on the motorbikes, outrunning people, shooting guns, and I was thinking it's not very romantic. Obviously, there is like a flashback of a sex scene. I'm like, when the fuck did that happen?
I've got two things there I've got to say. One, when he was stood on the bike seat shooting people, he was stood up there for so long the bike would not have carried on rolling.
No.
And it made me think of Hot Shots Part 2, where he's on the bike, Charlie Sheen, and he's like doing the dancing and the bike's carrying on moving. And I just couldn't not think of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
But the other thing is, like you just said, in the flashback, they boink. Well, at the end of the film, he's making out like he's still not kissed her.
Yeah. I don't get
You
it.
boinked.
Exactly. It doesn't make sense.
It was this relationship working in reverse. First we'll boink and then we'll build up to a kiss.
Yeah.
Makes no bloody sense.
It doesn't. I don't get that flashback. It seems a bit stupid.
The music in this film is arguably the worst thing.
Yes.
It doesn't fit.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it was like one of his friends must have like made the music for the film or something.
Yeah, I reckon he probably just asked, has anybody got a local band, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
I'll give me a tenner, make me some music. But it's really out of place.
See, it seems very cheesy music that doesn't fit the whole action thing. And there's a couple of songs that goes along with it, but I don't know. There's not a lot I liked about this film. I thought
noisy.
Yeah.
You've got shotguns and everything, but they're all like an air rifle noise. Whether it's a handgun or a shotgun, it's like you could have got one of those little talk boy things like from Home Alone, a little dictaphone, and recorded shotguns off a TV show, and it'd have made better sound.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. See, this film, I think, was quite a bad film. There wasn't really much to like about it. I think it was funny in that, like, it is really bad and you can laugh at it. But I don't think any of it's intentionally funny.
No.
The times it tried to be funny was when it was like the one-liners and they were just shit.
Yeah.
I can't even remember them probably. I think it was like, enjoy your slide or something.
Yeah, there was one about his car insurance or something.
Yeah. Oh, there goes my driving license.
That's it.
What?
I think the problem is he's watched Van Damme stuff and decided that Jean-Claude Van Damme got famous because he's a darn good martial artist. And I don't think that's true. I mean, Jean-Claude Van Damme is a good martial artist, but I think Van Damme has got a certain charm and charisma.
Hmm.
And even when Jean-Claude Van Damme's in a stinker, like the Street Fighter movie he was in, he's still lovable. You still like go, hey, that's my Jean-Claude. And this guy just doesn't have that, and that's probably why he never made it to that degree, because it's not enough just to be able to do a roundhouse kick and the splits, and you've got to have that charisma that people care. You could be a worse fighter, but if you've got that it factor, you'd make it further.
I get what you're saying. I don't really have much else to say about this. At the end of the day, the film is not very good. I think it's worth watching just so you can have a laugh. How daft it is. The quality's all over the place. The story's a bit by the numbers. But then again, action films are not usually known for their high fucking
No.
Shakespearean storylines. But it's like, I don't know. It just feels a bit shit. Very bluntly, a bit shit. Actually,
Never seen this film.
I've literally written one note down and I put a bit shit looking at my notes.
I'd never watched this film before you asked me to. I'd seen that other sort of internet famous people had reviewed it, but I'd always like gone, meh. Like I told you, there's a wrestling podcast, OSW, who like watch the old Hulk Hogan wrestling and stuff and comment on it. They're a bunch of Irish lads. And probably because they're Irish, they reviewed this, and I've never watched it because I've always gone, no, I'm not going to watch that one. I'll move on to the next wrestling event they do. But I'm like, I've got to see what they say about it now. Because there's a lot to say about this film. I mean, we've made it probably nearly half the length of the film talking about it. And with it being from their neck of the woods, I'm like, oh, they've probably got insight we haven't, or
more than likely, you would think so, wouldn't you? But
yeah,
it just seems like a rubbish film that, I don't know, would have been a better film, I guess, if they had. I don't know. I've never made a film. I can't really say I could do better because I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do any of the martial arts stuff for a start. But at the same time, I just thought the film was crap. And I think it's like an hour and a half long. And it felt like it was going on for about 4 hours because it dragged.
oh,
And it's like, what I didn't get is it's like the monk is like, oh, you know, you can save your woman by winning this tournament. It's like, well, what? Why does he have to fucking do a fighting tournament to then save his woman? Couldn't he just go save the woman anyway?
exactly.
What the fuck? It made no sense.
Keep making out that the person that wins this tournament like controls this part of Ireland or whatever. How?
And as soon as he wins the tournament, he doesn't like hang around. He literally jumps over a couple of people in the crowd and runs straight out after some other guys. And then picks up and goes, yeah, all's good, boss. Because he takes her off someone else.
That bit where he's running around the Irish castle and the lackeys are running around it, that was so Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
He's at the top while they're at the bottom, and then, you know, they're running and you're just like, this has descended into a 5-year-old cartoon.
Yeah. And I was thinking as well, right? The monk, at one point in the film, gets captured by some of the bad dudes, yeah?
Yeah.
The monk is teaching the guy to fight, so the monk should have held his own and not had that happen to him.
Exactly. I mean, look at all the like Karate Kid, Mr. Miyagi stuff. The teacher's usually like a badass that can throw people down using 2 fingers. And this monk just gets like kidnapped by 2 random knobbers.
Yep. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't. It's not a very good film. I genuinely think people should watch it because it is funny in a non-intentional way. But, you know, that's my opinion. What about you, man?
Yeah, it's definitely like a 1 out of 10 film for actually being a film. I only give it a 1 because it, you know, it makes a full film start to end. And I admit that, you know, even to put anything down on film, there's a lot of efforts had to go in. But it's pants. But it's funny because it's pants.
Yeah. It is, like I said, so bad it's good kind of film.
Oh, yeah.
Not the greatest film of all time. I can certainly say that. There you go. Anyway, I think that's going to be us. Thank you for everyone listening. Thank you, Kerr, for taking part.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. And that is going to be us. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
You made me look bad, and that's not good.